What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for player ratings, and these are gonna be the toughest player ratings I've done so far because when I'm going over them, you're gonna say, "Huh? What?" And I will say, "Yeah," because I find this one very tough to rate because we won, but it wasn't good, and a lot of players disappointed me because it was extremely flat and I didn't get the reaction I was expecting individual wise as a team. So the ratings all over the place, and don't blame me, but just focus on what I'm gonna say about the players in the game rather than the score. So like the video, subscribe, and let's go into it. Okay, straight off, I didn't pick a worse player on the pitch because I find that extremely tough to do today. Even to pick one of the best players on the pitch, like the MVP, I found it really tough to do. I gave Chesney 5.5. You might say that's too low. That's a 6. He had absolutely nothing to do. No, so it might be a 6, but you will understand why I didn't put up a 6 when I go through these ratings. After last week, bounce back. Well, he didn't had anything to do to bounce back, because we played an extremely poor side in Lecce. Standings, yes, they're second in the league or third. They were, but they're not a good side. And you can say he bounced back, Chesney, but he had absolutely nothing to do. Like absolutely, I don't think he made a save. I think he just needed to kick the ball away like 2, 3 times. Like when it did it go out of play, like he had nothing to do. So 5.5 could be a 6, whatever. I gave Rugani a 6 because I thought he was good. Um, I don't rate him. I think we need to move on from these type of players because they've been at the club for way too long and they have contributed not enough. And you can say sub, whatever. It's a culture that needs to change. It's everything surrounding the club that needs to change. So that's my standing on that point. But he played good. I don't think it's easy to play once every 6, 7 games. But he had a good performance. So 6. Bremer and Danilo. I didn't like Bremer in the first half, especially the first 35 minutes. I think he got bullied a little bit off the ball, was making fouls. Then he got the better of his opponents. But it wasn't like, again, you can say 6 because we didn't give away anything, but like Lecce were extremely poor. Like it wasn't that they were putting pressure on our back line and we were defending very well that you're like, wow, great game. Like they had absolutely no quality. So again, you can say 5, 6, whatever, but like just the type of game it was, I think it's for me extremely tough to say, oh, it's a 6, it's a 7, because everybody got the vibe of the game. We won, but like it doesn't feel like a win because you know what this win represents, like the performance, what it will represent. I gave Danilo 5.5. I thought defensively was good. In possession, he was horrible. Like I know we got the almost assist for Chiesa, and Chiesa should have scored in that first half. But don't focus on one thing. Look at the big picture. Defensively, I thought he was okay, but he was trying to do things on the ball he just can't do. And in the first half, like I don't think in the first half, I think up to the 60th minute, he gave away possession 15 times. Like that's too much in that type of game. Because you were not under pressure, you had all the time in possession, whatever. You gave it away 15 times. That's too much in that type of game. Like you shouldn't be giving it away that amount of times when there's absolutely zero pressure. He was trying to switch up play a few times, didn't come off, booting it away without any pressure, straight to the middle. Like in possession, if you're not good in certain things, don't try it. But it was kind of weird that you was giving away the ball when there was no pressure at all. So 5.5 for me. Defensively, all okay, but like we played a poor side. The midfield one is a tough one. I gave McKennie a 6 because credit where credit is due. I thought he was good again. Is he an explosive player? Is he a player that needs to play there for long term for the future? Is he the player that is going to elevate the team and bring it to different heights? No. But as of now, he's doing a job. I think defensively he's been very, very good. Going forward, the final ball is missing, but that's just a lack of quality. So I'm not really going to put that on him. But defensively is good. In possession, he is clean. He is. So credit to him. I give him a 6. Now the other players, I give them all 5.5. Besides Cambiaso, I can go on, like I can dissect that individually, but defense, like it was a very uninspired midfield. That's how you can put it. There was nothing coming from it. It was extremely slow in the first half. At times, it was very sloppy and a bit wasteful. That's the performance Miretti gets subbed off every half, basically, and that's why I've always said I don't think it's fair, because if Miretti was in that midfield this today in that first half and he played like that, he would have been subbed at halftime. I don't think it's fair because he could have subbed anyone. It wasn't good performance wise. It wasn't. You sit back and you're like, wow, you dominated a poor Lecce side. They didn't. They did not. And I think that's a worry. Like, it wasn't that they were making glaring errors. It's just what they didn't do. Take that, game by the scruff of your neck, improve the team, take command. You never had a feeling like, oh, this midfield is going to make things happen. I never had that feeling personally. I don't know if you had that. So I give them 5.5. I gave Cambiaso 5 because remember when we played Genoa, when we played Udinese and everybody was hyped and I was like, that's a brilliant performance. You deserve to play. But I had a discussion. I said, I'm not sold because I need more than one game. I need a consistency of games. Now, to his defense, he didn't get the game time to build up a consistency. So I'm not gonna say, oh, he's trash or he's amazing. I'm not gonna go to those extremes because after that Udinese game, people were going to the extremes where, oh, he's unbelievable. At Genoa, he was okay. He wasn't great at Genoa. He was just okay, a good player, not a player that was like, wow, he's gonna change life for us. He can still do, but as of now, this is who he is. It will be inconsistent a little bit, but he needs game time to his defense. Like, you cannot sit out 3 games in a row on the bench and then get a few minutes. But I didn't like what he did today. Like, I liked what he did in terms of movement, moving in midfield, whatever. But he struggled to beat his man. He struggled to put it across in at times, too many times in that first half. I don't think he had a good game. Second half, he got almost cooked. Like, he got lucky that he got the foul. Defensively, also some moments where he wasn't really reading the game that well. So I give him a 5. But to his defense, like, I cannot say, oh, you're a poor player, because I think it's a second start. Maybe it's not fair. Let's move on. And this might sound crazy. Milik is my man of the match, but I gave him a 6 because he scored a goal, and credit, it was a good goal in terms of like a real striker goal. Um, but other than that, we also need to be honest. He was really bad up to that point. Like, he was extremely poor. And if you will go on SofaScore or LiveScore or whatever, like, name the apps. I haven't looked, but he will probably have gotten close to an 8 because he got the goal. And that's why I've always said, just look at the eye test. Don't use these type of apps, to grade a player. You can look up stats, that's fine. But they give a grade to a player. It's all not based on the eye test, because we need to be honest. And it's not to knock him, because again, he never played this season. But up to that goal, it was extremely poor. Like, he was giving the ball away, tripping over the ball, mishandling controls, like, whatever. But he got the goal, so he's my man of the match. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh, that's a 7," because no, like, that was not a 7 type of performance. It wasn't. Like, you can get the winner and still have a crap game. Chiesa 6, that might be a bit too much. You might say. I don't think he had the best of games in terms of quality, but there was very little movement. There was no drive, and the stadium being extremely quiet, it's not gonna help. Like, you're playing on a Tuesday against Lecce, and the stadium is that, like, even the away fans, they didn't really travel. The singing part of the fans, like, it was just, you can hear a pin drop into that stadium, and that's the type of performance we got from even a player like Chiesa. So 6 might be even too much. He didn't have a poor game, but like, it wasn't brilliant. It wasn't like, oh wow. And that actually goes for everybody, if I'm being completely honest. That's why I'm like, this is a tough player ratings, because we won, but it's a weird feeling, and I didn't even know how to grade these players. So just listen to what my opinion is on their performance rather than the 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 rating himself. Like Gatti, I think when he came on, he did well. I don't think he had an easy couple of days, but like I said, you play Juve, you pick yourself up, and go again. Like that's what it is. And he came on, he did well. Let's see how we will do in the next couple of games. Other players, 5.5, 5, yeah, they didn't have enough time. Um, I'm a bit baffled why Junior didn't came on, because at the start of the second half, he was changing clothes. And I think Junior, like I think Junior needs to get a start now, because we got Kostic, we got Cambiasso. It's time for Junior to get those minutes now. If indeed Cambiasso puts like Cambiasso plays against Atalanta, he plays like this, then okay. But I want to see more of Junior. Like Miretti 4 and Wea 3. Like the Wea situation is weird. Like it's weird. Like 3 minutes, 4 minutes, it's iffy. But the Wea situation is extremely weird to me. But let's see how that will develop. As of now, he's still happy. He's still not complaining. But I don't know how long that will take. Even though McKennie's doing well, like offensively, it's a different type of player. And are we what type of team are we trying to be? Because Chiesa made some interesting comments that I'm not really going to discuss in this video. I will do that on Zeppelin video. And he made it sounded that, the players are the issue, not Allegri, So it seems that Allegri wants to play a different type of football, but then the players he's putting in, they don't back it up, even though Chiesa says, yes, he wants to do that. So some things are not adding up, and the way I won is kind of one of them. But these are my ratings. Again, don't focus on the numbers. Focus on what I've had to say on the players. But in a nutshell, we won, but it was a flat performance. Like, tough to get up to, tough to be excited, tough to, rate these players, whatever. But a win is a win, I guess. Let me know in the comments what you think. Like the video, subscribe, join us for the breakdown later today. And